Okay, so we're just waiting to pop up live in the Yoga Teacher Collaborative group, because that is where today's session is all held. So if you can see us live, go ahead, tell me, put a little comment in. Any tech stuff, just put it in the comments as well. We will just wait a couple of minutes for some of you to arrive here before we head live today. If you just grab a cup of tea, make yourself super comfortable. And do a little bit of admin in the Zoom room a tick. Just a second. All right, Susan, welcome. I can see it's lovely of you to join us today. I'm so pleased that there are people coming to support Alex during this live coaching session. And I think we will get started. So welcome to today's final day of the Thrive 5-day business and marketing course for yoga teachers. Whether you are with Alex and myself live today or watching the replay, thank you so much. Thank you for making it through to day 5. Thank you for being here to support Alex. This may initially seem like an odd way of training, watching someone have a coaching session. And I always call these coaching sessions a soul courage coaching, because I think you've seen that all of this serve and thrive method is about you tapping into your soul, tapping into your dharma, tapping into your light. But challenges, obstacles, roadblocks come along the way. And following this path, it does take courage, it takes strength. It takes us noticing that voice that says you're not good enough, you can't do this, or this is a problem, or there's this obstacle, and going, no, the path might be bumpy. I might not know all the ways of doing it, but it is my dharma. And remembering that teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, that as long as you are following your own path, your own dharma, even if imperfectly, Dharma will uphold you. So as you're following this session with Alex and myself today, and Alex, this is a big jump of courage for her to do this live, imagine it's just you and me talking. And get your workbooks out. You imagine I'm asking the same questions of you that I'm asking of Alex, and take yourself through this journey. And if you have any support, ideas to share for Alex as we go along, please just type them straight into the comments, because then Alex gets the feedback from me, but you as well. And we are all stronger and wiser and better together. And I'm sure Alex and I will really enjoy reading those afterwards. Now, Alex, my love, welcome. Thank you so much for your work over the last few days. It's been such a joy to meet you and to read your homework and to, get to know a little bit more about you. So why don't you just kick us off by saying a little bit about you? How did you get into yoga? What does your yoga look like now?
Well, I guess I first got into yoga in about 2004. I think it was one of those weird things where there was some free yoga DVDs with Special K.
Oh my God, I love that.
That's literally how I got into it. And then I was doing it for a little while. I had it on a Nintendo Wii. And then I found Budokon yoga when I started my martial arts training. And I've just basically kept it up ever since. So I guess it's 15 years I've actually been practicing yoga now and Budokon. And then at the beginning of this year, I kind of had a bit of an existential crisis. I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I have a little illustration business as well. But the other side of what I do is obviously martial arts. And I just thought, you know what, maybe I'll do the yoga teacher training finally, now that we can do it online. Because I know before it was always quite a struggle to find somewhere local. I think the nearest place to me was Leeds. So I thought I'll get my 200 hours. I ended up doing yin because I'm an acupressure therapist as well. And now I'm right in the middle of my Budokon yoga training, and hopefully gonna get my Budokan class and my course started in January.
Right. There are so many strings to your bow, and this is
Yeah.
so exciting. So you are an acupressure therapist. So how long have you been doing the acupressure?
I've been doing it actually on myself for years, just like self-treatment. And over the past couple of years, I've had a few health issues where I started to use it a little bit more. And I just thought, you know what, this is actually quite amazing what you can do with this. So, you know, if I could do it, get qualified and actually help other people as well, then that would just be absolutely amazing. And then I got into the yin yoga because that obviously activates all the meridians and the pressure points as well. So it all kind of linked into what I just naturally started to do anyway.
You seem to have this real balance within you of this yin and the yang, because you have this acupressure, you have the yin yoga. Alex has already been telling me that she teaches a monthly restorative yoga. So there's all of this beautiful calming, soothing the nervous system. But then there's this, it feels this strong yang that, you know, Budokan's a dynamic, powerful yoga practice. You like your jinjitsu, which is powerful and dynamic. I think I read somewhere about connection with karate. So you have this real blend, it seems, of the strong athletic and the calming soothing. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I feel that the yang to my yin is definitely my martial arts and my vinyasa and my Budokan. So I feel like the balance is just great in what I do at the moment.
And that's in you personally as a practitioner. So you're fairly near the beginning of you expanding into your business. And let's think of your business as it's all of it. It is, you know, the yin, it is the acupressure, it is the therapy, it is the classes, it's all of it. It's never helpful to separate. We want to bring all of that together. So how do you feel this balance of yin and yang would like to come through into your business?
That's a good question.
Like, do you see yourself just doing the Budokan, or do you want to keep the yin and the restorative? I
definitely still will do the yin because I think that is really good for, it'll definitely be great for my acupressure clients as well. I'd like to cross over, you know, I show them some, even my yin students, I would show them some self-treatment acupressure points. Yeah. So they can look after themselves. And definitely I would do a vinyasa class. I think that would be really nice because that's my main style that's not Budokan. But Budokan I think would be my main style. So I guess 3, I guess yin, Budokan, vinyasa. Yeah. So nicely blended. So that's going to be a real important thing when you start to create, you know, you've got a website, but it's kind of a holding page that allows people to book your classes whilst you get your big website done. So your website, your social media, your images, your posters, it's going to be about finding this balance of how do you communicate. I'm both. I'm here for the energizing and the uplifting and the calming and the soothing. Is not dissimilar to me. So if you look at like it's silly things like in my brand colors, I'm teal, which is relaxing and calming, and orange, which is the fire. So they go together in everything there. Okay. Budokan. So is your first priority, and it felt from looking at some of your homeworks of getting a Budokan class launched, is that where your first passion and priority is? It is, yeah. There's a few hurdles with that. The one I want to mention now, just in case I'll forget, is Budokan's obviously a brand name. Yeah. And you know what that means. And so then there is the presumption that our potential students will know what that is. So it's to go, whoa, Budokan yoga. And everyone's like, I don't know what that is. I can't pronounce that word. What is it? And then again, it's that same, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's for me. So tell me, what are you thinking about how you would like to launch a Budokan? So obviously, if I'm doing the course, which would be my first port of call, I guess, I mean, I will be able to use the branding on my website as soon as I've got the certification. So I guess, I'm aiming kind of primarily first at my martial arts people I know. Some of them do yoga anyway, I think. So I guess I would market it as yoga for martial artists, but also just movers, people who like to move.
Yeah.
Just so I'm not excluding anybody, because it really is for everybody. So I think I would use maybe some demo videos to, to show people it's not a crazy martial arts style. We're not doing any martial arts. And I would just market it in the way that it is just an all-encompassing, yoga style that is for movers. It's mixed movement arts. That's what they call it. So I guess I would market it in a neutral kind of way.
And because that is your idea, just to backtrack, so is that you'd launch it with a 6-week introductory course, and then at the end of the 6-week course, let that run into a class. And that was a question you asked me before. I said we'd come back to is, did I think this was a sensible way to launch something? Because actually you're doing this twice. You're thinking of, for the Budokan, running a 6-week introductory course and then letting that become an open class. But also you've said with your yin, you're thinking of doing a yin taster workshop and then letting that become a class. So it's the same method, and I really, really recommend it. Whatever the course is, if it's a Budokan or a 6-week beginners course. I think I mentioned yesterday, it's an easier way to launch something because you focus all on marketing.
Yeah.
Then at the end of that launch period, all on teaching. At the end of the 6 weeks, with it going into an open class, did you potentially see it just becoming a drop-in, pay as you go? Had you thought about the payment structure yet?
What I thought initially was the people who book onto the course would get their first Budokan class free.
Yeah.
So that they can have a taste of the whole hour of just doing pure Budokan, what they've learned, see how they've progressed from week 1 of the course to, week 1 of the class. Yeah. And then obviously open it up to everybody else. I guess I'm thinking of the people on the course, and then I would market it as a general class, maybe halfway through the course. Would that be an idea? So
yeah,
for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I love that idea, and I've done it before at the end of I've done it on beginners courses, at the end of a beginners course, saying, thank you so much for coming to the 6-week beginners course. I'd love to gift you a free class at the ongoing drop-in class. Yeah. One thing I'd keep in mind is if you've got these people trained to pay for a 6-week course, for your income and sustainability, it would be great for it not to just be drop-in.
Yeah.
So it's either, they just block book in 6 weeks, or they block book monthly, or they pay on subscription, as well as there then being the option for however many spaces there are remaining for free trials, or people to book individual classes if they didn't want to do a course.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely.
Because you've trained, I think I saw you said you were thinking about £80 for that 6-week course. So if they did that from the beginning, there's someone that's happy
yeah,
to do that. So you mentioned something then about advertising it as yoga for movers, yoga for speaking to the karate people, speaking to the jiu-jitsu people, which made me think about niche. Have you come across the word when people talk about finding your niche and marketing to your niche?
Yeah.
So what people can then often think is that that's just what you're doing. So that this class is just for martial artists. You're like, no. I'd like it to be for martial artists, but actually anyone can come along. So I would recommend that you make your marketing niche, so that maybe you focus one is, we talked about a 6-week marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And about, splitting out 3 educational pillars. Yeah. For you, I would probably actually split out 3 niches. So you're talking to each niche separately. Yeah. But you're offering them all the same thing. So one of your marketing campaigns purely is yoga for martial artists. Really clear, in the pictures, you're sharing pictures of yoga on you, but I would also share a picture of you as a martial artist.
That's going on my website, actually. That's what I'm going to have, the yoga me and the martial artist me.
Yeah, and the acupressure you, please. Yeah, absolutely. So they can see you're not someone that's just trying to target a niche, but no, this is this is what I do. I am one of you. And I would just keep that really like tight and specifically for those people. You probably won't need to do paid for advertising. I think this would fill without, but if it didn't and you needed to do a Facebook advert, you can target people on Facebook adverts by their interests. So you could literally target jiu-jitsu, karate, martial arts, because there's such a clear niche. And then I'd make the second week of marketing about active movement and, you know, strong and dynamic. Have you already been interested in this but don't want to do the martial arts?
Yeah.
Strong, dynamic, find your strength. Like really, it's for everyone, but you got to want to work hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's probably it, those two kind of categories there of purely the martial artists and people that like the strength and discipline.
Yeah.
Or potentially, is it a good form of cross training for anybody that generally likes to work out, like runners or any other kind of athletes?
Yeah, it probably is, because there's a lot of different athletes that do Budokan. So, you know, it's quite a full body, you know, you get stamina, you get cardio without really thinking that you're getting cardio. So it would be good for all kinds of athletes.
Yeah, so if you needed a third, you know, it might fill up straight away. But if you needed a third set of marketing, it could be cross training for all sports.
Right, cool.
And then we know what are the benefits of that: improving flexibility, minimizing injuries.
Yeah.
Improving strength and stamina for better form and function. So there's the same thing, the 6-week Budokan course, but you've tweaked your marketing. 3 difference, and you change the images, change the language.
Yeah.
So you were thinking of launching this in January?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so I get all my training out of the way, and then I'm free to just concentrate absolutely on the course and the class. Yeah.
And do you know where you're going to teach it?
Yes, the studio that I'm putting my yin workshop on, the lady there says I can hold my course there, so and my class. So.
Right. And is the setup with her that you hire the space for the hour, or is it profit split?
I'm not sure how I'll do the class, because when she does work, when people hold workshops there at the moment, she just takes 30% of what is the total that's made. So I don't know how she takes payment for classes. I assume it would be maybe for the hour. Is that like the fairest way?
The fact that she does the 70-30 split with the 70% in the teacher's favor is amazing. That's what I think is really, really good and really ideal and just perfect. But you don't see it that often anymore. So it sounds like you found a really great studio to work with and someone really supportive. But yes, I just have an incredibly clear conversation with her at the beginning. Just go, I know what we're doing on the workshops, but what did you want to do? Do you think it'll be the same on the course, that she'll potentially do a 70-30?
Yes, I think so, because she tends to do that on, I mean, I use her room for my acupressure treatments as well, and she just takes 15% of the day's treatments. So I assume she's going to do the same with the course and the class.
And it sounds perfect. I would just clarify. And that's amazing, because you know she's only taking the amount of whatever you bring in. So it really minimizes your risk at the beginning. So it's really amazing. She sounds very special. Yeah. So then have you decided when in January you're going to start?
Well, I was thinking about that, because if you start really early, are people ready for the first week in January? Is it too soon? You know, they're all just getting over Christmas. The kids are just starting to go back. But then I'm thinking, if my marketing is the 6 weeks leading up to Christmas, are people going to care because of all the Christmas things going on? Yeah,
we do have to tweak marketing timelines with Christmas in mind. And I would say, that first week back, people are either just sort of coming out of a Christmas or it's I've got to get the kids back. Looking after me is the least priority at the moment. So I don't return my classes till the 2nd week of January, which would be the 9th. And I wouldn't start a brand new course probably until the 3rd week of January, which would be this week beginning the 16th.
Cool.
because Christmas is weird. You're really right. And payday.
Yes, it's a long month, isn't it, January?
Yeah, so we at least need to get that Christmas payday in as well. And so if I just close my calendar accent. So if the Christmas payday is often like the last Friday, that's the 30th. If you didn't start till the week beginning the 16th, that's still over 2.5 weeks to market. And that 6 weeks marketing is amazing, but it can be compressed if it needs to in 4 weeks, because people get a bit bored between Christmas and New Year. So I would probably mention it very briefly and start like talking to the karate club, talking to the jiu-jitsu people, like that kind of more network marketing with your contacts, sowing the seed, probably from now, if I'm honest. Just sow the seeds. As you know, I'm doing my Budokan training in the new year. I'd really love to share a course. I think it'd be great, just so people know you're doing it. Which you've probably been sharing anyway, but just so they know something's coming up, just in conversation. And then towards the end of November, beginning of December, having those more concrete conversations, like with the Jiu-Jitsu club. Would it be okay, if I brought in a flyer and gave it to our members, or with the same with the karate, would it be okay to send something out in an email? Is there something you could do in return for them?
I'm not sure, actually. Maybe
when you're thinking of going to the Jiu-Jitsu club, and the karate club, is there someone at the top you have to speak to, or are you thinking about just generally talking with the people you're around?
Yeah, the guys that run it are always there whenever we go in, and they live near me as well, so they're always there to have a chat.
Would you give them a free acupressure treatment?
I would, actually, yes. I was going to say, I was going to either say a taster yoga class or a free acupressure treatment. That would work, because a lot of injuries in karate, I think they would benefit from a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, and then you're already talking to them about yoga, but you're not talking to them about acupressure. So it gives you another way to sort of talk in the acupressure, and then when they're doing the acupressure, talk about the yoga. And it feels really indulgent for those people that are really helping you. So I'd start then more seriously talking to them in the end of November, beginning of December, saying, would you let me put up a poster? Would you let me send out an email? Would you let me give flyers? Could we do a taster even in the gym together, just a 30-minute at the end of a session?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Chris, is it a membership, the Jiu-Jitsu or the karate club?
We don't pay, we just pay as you go, but the karate people do have a monthly membership.
Yeah, could it maybe be that they get you in for a 30-minute Budokan taster at the end of Christmas as a Christmas present thank you to their members or the people that come in and use the site?
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, actually, I know they have a they finish the same week we do. We all have 2 weeks off over Christmas, so I could even do it on the Friday that we all finish. That would be quite nice.
Yeah, and it might not be the Budokan, it might be the yin. It might be you've trained so hard this year, this is a well done for all your training from us, a slow relaxing stretch out.
Yeah, actually, they might like that, because I don't know what their regime is in like fitness wise. I hear them running around quite a bit, but I feel like there's not a lot of cool down, so maybe they could all do with a bit of a stretch. Cozy Christmas, and it's a way of it's a win-win. It's a free thing they can give on to their members, and this is how you tell them. So it's not it's that you let them see the win-win. I think this would be so nice for your members to offer them this as a thank you. I would love to do it for free. I've got this course coming up, so you can see it's for everyone. Yeah, so I'd start getting more serious about that end of November. Okay. And then official kind of book here stuff
Yes, make it available to book beginning of December and start telling people, but just don't worry until the first week of January.
Yeah. Right.
And then do a little bit more active marketing, and you can schedule this, social media, emails, etc. Between the 28th and the 30th, when everyone is sat at home, bored, feeling crappy because they ate too much sweet food.
Yeah. And then they're like, yes, I'm going to do that thing.
Yeah. And then they might not book it then.
No, but they might save it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then wait till payday. Yeah. And then I would expect your bookings to be coming in those first 2 weeks of January. Cool. So running things at the beginning of January is about holding your nerve. So it's communicating. It's here, do this, it's exciting. But those bookings come in those last 2 weeks.
Cool.
Alrighty, that did make me think of something. I take it there's Facebook groups locally for all of this.
Yeah, every club and association has their own, so I'm active in them, so I can get in there.
Yeah, and the same as the free in-person Christmas, you can do that online as well. You know, do a free Facebook Live in your group, giving all of your members a stretch out, say thank you for being a part of your online community.
Yeah, that's cool.
That reminded me of the next thing, actually.
Yeah.
So all of this is the best marketing approach, getting yourself in front of other people's audiences, and then not a competitor of yours, but you have a cross interest. And so it's a win-win. It is the best way to market, but it means obviously in the November, December, you might be doing a few free 30-minute workshops online in person. So we need to make sure they get return for you.
Yeah.
Which means you must collect email addresses.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have an email list? Have you started collecting anything?
I've got my MailChimp mailing list on my website, and my booking system collects everybody's emails to that as well.
Yeah, that's great. So for getting people in person or online to give you their email address, do you have anything that you offer someone in exchange for their email address?
Well, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about like free content that has quite high value. So whether it's a little printout of acupressure points you can use on yourself, or whether it's just some maybe some yin poses that would, you know, help with immune system for flu season, just thinking about, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would focus, I'd have a couple. I would definitely have the acupressure, maybe a handout, better yet, a quick little video.
Yeah, video of acupressure points I think would be quite good.
Yeah. Tension, headaches, struggle getting to sleep, as you said, immune during winter, definitely. But that's potentially not going to be your Budokan people. So you want to have that, and then you want to have best 30 seconds is too long. 3-minute cool down stretches for before or after karate, or warm-up stretches as a video. But videos are great, content like that's great, but I have to work. There's an acupressure video, but that means I've got to sit there and do my acupressure points. Or but then I got to sit and stretch there. So I've got to do something like homework, like you've had to do. A lot of people will do that, but especially face to face, people will give you their email address much more readily when it's connected to food. The human psyche. So if you do you like to cook, bake, anything around food?
Yes, I don't mind. I like making little vegan cookies and things like that.
Perfect. So if you are this is for in-person, obviously only. So if you're going into the jiu-jitsu or the karate and they say yes to you doing a free workshop, or anywhere else you get to do a free workshop, take in something you've made, be it she said cookies or protein balls or anything like that. Raw vegan chocolate always goes down super well. Share them. Remember our trust, give.
Yeah.
Pop your email address here if you'd like me to send you the recipe. I'll also send you a video on best stretches and some acupressure points. But you know that's then going to have to be GDPR compliant.
Yeah.
So your website will automatically, Wix will have that all sorted. On a paper, if it's so I have a piece of paper just like this that would say like name, email address, tick here to receive the recipe and be added to my newsletter. They don't get the recipe if they don't tick that.
Okay.
They will tick that. Yeah. So that to me is so many ideas for launching your 6-week Budokan and then running that into a course. I can see no reason why this wouldn't fill really easily. Is there any concerns, questions, big or small, or logistics? I know you were thinking about £80 for 6 weeks. That seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Would people expect maybe a little extra thing for that price, like a handout or a freebie? Or is it a free class?
Yeah, so I think for a course, it's not so much the price, but and I'm just talking really personally, for me, I expect something different from a course versus a class.
Yeah.
So yeah, for courses, you can do a handout. What I tend to do on like a beginner's course is that there'll be a different theme for each week. Like I did a 6-week runners course once. So one was like glute strengthening, glute stretching, core, breathing. And then each week they got an email saying, reminder, looking forward to our session tonight, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be looking at the power of breathing. Here is an article if you'd like to read more. And here's a quick video if you want to practice what we do at home.
Good.
And then the key is just make it super short. So you're going to be teaching breathing. We know it's the best thing to improving stamina. In Budokan, do they use the Ujjayi breath or just?
They actually don't. We do a little just general Zen meditation at the beginning and the end. You just go with your breath, just be aware of it.
Yeah. So maybe even just like function of breathing, diaphragmatic breathing and then chest breathing, but super short, like 1 to 2 minute long videos. And then that Zen meditation.
Yeah.
And any like pranayamas, and I'm sure with the Budokan you can still add things that interest you in other ways. You can still do a quick acupressure video, because in the acupressure is as much as the muscle stimulation as well. Like if you do this acupressure point here, it'll help your glutes fire up better. Is that a part of it still?
Maybe not necessarily in that way, but if you had an injury, we would treat a point somewhere else that would help that. So if it was like a strain or something, we have immunity boosting points.
Yeah. That genuine, like just tension, headaches, neck and shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Stiff necks, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I think, include just a couple of those that are relevant into your Budokan 6-week course emails.
Yeah.
With clearly, what I'm going to say next. Book an acupressure treatment here and get 25% off, as they're already a 15% off. Or
off the course?
No, off the treatment.
Off the treatment, yeah.
Yeah.
Works, yeah.
And I did that with a lady called Jackie, who I mentored a couple of years ago. She opened a studio in a really posh part of where we live. She lives quite close to me in the New Forest. And the people where she lives will book something because it's expensive, not because it's cheap. And she is a massage therapist. So we started creating her a package of 6-week courses. and I can't remember, the course was 100 and something pounds, but each course included one treatment. And her studio is quite small. She could only take, I can't remember if it was like 8 or 10 people, but included a treatment. So that could be even later down the line. It could be an upgrade option. You know, upgrade to add one acupressure treatment to support your training.
Yeah, that would be good actually. Good. So many ideas here now.
Yeah, that one we can just park for a bit.
Okay.
But I would definitely include really little video each week. One's breathing, one's a quick stretch, pepper in a couple of acupressure, and then with the acupressure ones, as you're doing course, I'd love to offer you X% off treatment. How do people book treatments times with you?
It's on my, I've got it on the online booking system as well on my yoga website. So it's
and it shows the times already.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. So few therapists have that, you know, and there's a lady locally I use, and I can be on my sofa at 10 o'clock at night, pull up her website and go, oh, there's a slot, book it in. She doesn't need to do any of it. Perfect. So yeah, then you definitely want to capitalize on that impulse. Just click here, book it now.
Yeah.
And could you, would it take a discount code?
Yes, I can have discount codes active. Yep.
Yeah. So give them a discount code, all done and dusted. And I would do that at the end of your course as well, when you're giving them, book here for your next free one as a thank you for a next, you know, you're going to give them a free class at the ongoing. As a thank you so much for doing this. I'd love to offer you 25% off any of my acupressure treatments, but here's a special discount code just for you.
Excellent. Yes, cool.
Was there anything else, any questions? Because this seems fabulously, excitingly straightforward to me.
Yeah, I hope it goes straightforward.
It will. It really will.
I feel like there was something else I was going to ask, but I can't remember what it was.
Well, you have a quick, yeah, sorry.
It might have been about the handouts, to be honest, like whether they expect any extras, which I guess we've gone over.
I don't think people expect, but I think it's really nice to, especially if it's a course. Yeah. Why is this a course versus it just being a 6-week block of classes? Progressive, week by week learning, and not that many people do the videos or read the handouts, but they appreciate that the value was there. So don't worry if it's on YouTube and you're saying, they're not doing them. There's still this appreciate the value, even if I didn't use it. I'm just going to click and have a look in Facebook, see if anyone's got any questions for you there. I think we're okay. So if you've got any questions on Facebook or any points to share with Alex, please feel free to type them in the chat. Honestly, I think you're so good to go. But would you keep us posted? That was all I'd ask.
Absolutely. I think now I'm in the group, I'll definitely be keeping everybody updated, probably asking for advice at some point. So
no, absolutely, please do. And just make sure that when you're talking about Budokan and using their kind of promotional images and their stuff, that you're as equally, if not more, your face, your name, about you. Because of course Budokan let you use their promotional materials. It's a little bit pyramid-y. Yeah. It's because it pushes forwards their brand and their name, which is good, and it's really good by association that you're connected and people will search Budokan, but don't promote them at the lack of promoting yourself. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so very, very much for your time today. I hope it's been useful. Thank you so much for everybody who has watched and for watching the replay. If you would like this kind of session yourself, you know, if you book the 12-week mentorship program by the end of this week, it includes a 45-minute one-to-one with me, but we don't start till later in September, so don't let that rush you. But if you just want a session like this with you and me, book before the 11th. And otherwise, I'm in the Yoga Teacher Collaborative all the time. We have a weekly live show this week on Friday, which is with a guest expert on circle holding and holding space. So we're taking a break from business. We're taking a break from business to talk about elevating our skills as a teacher. So thank you. I'll see you on Friday. Alex, I know you've got another call to jump to now as well. So thank you so much for your time and good luck, my love.
Thank you for all your help.
My absolute pleasure. Bye for now.